Hello everybody, Mr. Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Shadowbringers. In the last episode, we investigated the mine area here in Armoring to see if we can investigate how to potentially get the trolley up and running so that we can use it to get the Nabath Orang. Upon arriving at the mines, we discovered that the trolleys themselves, as well as all the mechanisms that operate the tracks, are designed to be operated by Talos, large golem-like constructs that are all no longer operational. So it doesn't really look like we're going to be able to get the trolley up and running, at least not easily, anyway. And upon interviewing a couple of, I guess you could call them enthusiasts, who have been trying to get the trolley back up and running themselves, we find out that the company that originally designed and built the Talos basically is defunct, doesn't exist anymore, and anybody that might know anything about it are off to Yulmore. So that's not helpful. And the one guy who is left, who might be able to help, an individual by the name of Magnus, doesn't seem inclined to be helpful. So, not great there. So we did some odd jobs around the area just to kind of see what we can do in the event that we do manage to get this thing up and running again. But so far, no real progress on getting the trolley back up and running has been made. So, we'll have to see how things progress. That's kind of where we are at the moment. Now, off screen, I did go ahead and work on getting all of the side quests that unlocked here in Twine taken care of. I still do need to grind out some fates, which I'll do on my own to get the bicolor gemstones that we need, well, that I need to get the riding map, because I'd like to have the riding maps so that I can move at decent speed on the ground. Once I'm able to fly, it might be moot, but, you know, so I might actually get the ability to fly here before I get access to the riding map. Because, if we look at our ether currents, I have 2 more that I need in the world and 3 more from quests. So, and I believe that the 2 more that I have not yet gotten in the world, out in the, just on the map, are down in this area where we don't have access yet, so can't get them just yet. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to Jarek here and see what the next thing we can do is. Alright, not that it'll do you any good, but we do have a Talos we've been meaning to repair. I can show you if you'd like. It'd certainly be nice to hear something other than Magnus' griping for a change. Alright, well, let's analyze the Talos. At least it's in one piece. Truly a most vexing state of affairs. I thought mayhap a closer examination might yield something of value. I see. The means to build Talos stone by stone are lost to us, 'tis true, but here before us slumbers a most fine specimen. Indeed, were it not for a few minor failings, it would be in working condition. 'Twill likely require naught but a few modest repairs and a suffusion of ether. Well, if you're thinking get the thing up and running, far be it from me to stop you, but what exactly do you reckon is the problem? I should stress that I have performed only the most cursory of examinations, though such arcane constructs are not wholly unfamiliar to me. As I did suspect from the first, it is host to a network of veins through which ether floweth freely. Or so it would, were it not for several fractures which now impede said flow. How in the hell did you get all that from just a glance? I take it you've thought up a solution as well, then? To bridge these fissures requires the material highly conductive to ether. Once in place, I believe it will be possible to restore the Talos to life. Might I prevail upon thee to acquire that which we require? Not far beyond the walls of Twine dwelleth a creature of living stone, the Debitage. Full sure am I that stone from such a being would prove most suitable to our needs. Very good. I shall have Thancred and Menphilia attend me in the remaining preparations. I spied but 3 obstructions to the flow of ether in the Talos, and thus would I ask you to provide 3 stones of the Debitage. All else will be made ready upon thy return. Sounds simple enough. If we can get one of these things running, we might be able to get one of these trolleys moving. Alright. So, these are the things I need to kill. Let's get my chocobo out. Yeah, it does make sense. It's a living stone monster, so... obviously, the stone that it uses must be etherically conductive or active in some way. Alright, there's one. There we go. There is 2. Alright, and there is 3. Alright, let's see. Thancred and Menphilia will return ere long with the remaining supplies we require. This now succeed in procuring stone from the Derbitage. Indeed. Fine specimens, one and all. You have my thanks. We need now but wait for Thancred and Menphilia's return. From end to end, the paths by which ether may flow through the Talos have been duly mended. They but require sufficient endowment. It's not moving. Strange. The core refuseth to stir. I fear the condition of this Talos is more dire than I previously surmised. As a heart driveth blood through a man's veins, so doth the core ether throughout this massive frame. Failing its repair replacement, the Talos cannot be restored. So it was the heart after all. Thou didst foresee this outcome? Well, no, not exactly. We've never gotten this far in trying to repair it, so we had no way of knowing the heart was the real problem. We tried to find another in case things turned out as they are now, but... Jarek? This isn't really my story to share. Please, Jarek, if something went wrong, maybe we can help. Alright. After all you lot have done for me, I suppose it's the least I can do. Alright, right then, the Talos. Their hearts cannot be made of just any stone. You need a special sort with sufficient ethereal conductivity. Both it and the other materials used in the construction of Talos bodies are mined in the same place. That place, of course, being here, the Hills of Amber. And it was 3 years ago when she... No, I can't. I'm sorry. But you'll have to hear it from Thaf or someone else. Okay. Back to the tavern, then. Alright, back to the tavern. Alright, there's Thaf. Thaf? Something like that. Still here, eh? You can ask again, but the answer's the same. Our trolleys are... What? God's damn it, Jarek. You could have at least finished so I wouldn't have to clean up your mess. Seeing how you made such quick progress in fixing that Talos and all, he was probably thinking you could help change things around here. And I think you may be right. Gather your friends and I'll tell you what you want to know.
Magnus's wife was a miner, you know. Greatest prospector there ever was. When the golem hearts started failing, she was the first to head out in search of more. Problem was, most of the veins ran dry ages ago, and finding fresh ones to tap's only gotten harder. But she wasn't one to be deterred. She just kept digging deeper and deeper. And then the mine collapsed. We labored day and night to clear away the rubble, but it took us 2 months to find her. To find her body. Magnus has never been the same since.
Where is he, if you don't mind my asking?
Ah, yes, well, if he's not here, there's only one other place he'd be.
What? Oh, you again. How many times must I tell you? The trolley won't run! We'd be better off dismantling the damn thing and selling the parts for scrap. Now, piss off back to wherever you came from. And don't let me catch you around here again.
What were their names?
My son was named Skuli. My wife, Agna. Being here with them, it beats going home. Home stopped being home when I lost them. I thought to try and drown my sorrows, but somehow the bottle's never deep enough.
No bottle is. Believe me, I know.
You've lost someone too?
Not like you. Not my own flesh and blood. I grew up an orphan, so I never really knew what family meant. Not until I met a man who offered to take me in and make me his pupil. He was a kindly soul, always looking out for me, like a father. Not that I appreciated that at the time, or anything else for that matter. But I finally had a family. And then I robbed a young girl of hers. I did my best to make amends, to offer her comfort. But the more I look back on it, the more I realize just how inadequate my efforts were. I let her down. That is why I refuse to let her legacy die. In the end, all we can do is press on, for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. And that requires your Talos. Please, Magnus. You are our only hope of reaching Nabarth Areng.
What rubbish.
She's not gone. No matter what you say or believe, she's not. We can still bring her back.
Alright, so Magnus lost his wife, trying to get parts of the Talos. Alright, so that's the story. Alright, well, let's see what Eorzea has to say here. Full well do I know the pain of loss and how heavily it can weigh on one's heart. Nevertheless, there is but one way forward. We must needs procure a new heart for the Talos. Thaf, knowest thou any location wherein we might find the stone we require? No matter how scant the possibility, we would seize it. I told you, near all of the veins were tapped dry 8 years ago. Though I suppose if you really wanted to try, you may find something at Nuvi's leavings. It was opened well before the Talos became commonplace, which is why the mining there was never quite as deep. When you get there, look for Guthjon and tell him I sent you, but don't be surprised if he tells you the same thing. Thine assistance is most appreciated. Ayame, I think it best Thancred join thee in this search. Though he wouldst be quick to deny it, his heart is in turmoil and his thoughts clouded. 'Twould be unwise to ignore his distress. Alright, let's find Thancred. Off to somewhere, are you? I'll have to find you. At last, a lead on the stone we need to power the Talos. I can't very well have you go on your own. Lead the way. Alright. I'd say we're long overdue for a good turn. I can only hope the gods feel the same way. Now, Nuvi's leavings was to the south, was it? Let's get going. And we got some more side quests opening up. That's fine. Alright, where exactly are we headed? Okay, down there. Alright, there's Thinkard. The way you described it, I was expecting the place to be abandoned. Perhaps our fortunes are finally improving, though we should probably hear what Guthjon has to say before we celebrate, assuming we can find him, that is. Alright, I'll be heading into the mines here. But I just need to check one thing for a moment. Okay, yeah, just had to check something there. Alright, so into the mines. More of those gnomes. See if we can avoid them. Ah, there is the individual we're looking for, Guthjon. Who are you, and what are you doing here? Well, you should have listened to Thaf. You're wasting your time. But this site is not as developed as the others, is it not? Surely there must be something left. I should explain. The stone you're looking for is leonine. All the talos in the Hills of Amber are powered using them. Or were, at least. Anyway, whatever's left, if anything, is too far below to be safely excavated. In the deepest reaches of the mine, we use talos to keep the pathways from collapsing. They're still there, but they could give out at any time, which is why much of the mine is closed off. Then our only option is to search the higher levels for any fragments of leonine that may have been overlooked. I suppose there may be one other way. Well, don't leave us in suspense. What you're asking for is a trade secret. I'll need to be duly compensated in exchange. Fine, what do you want? The other day I found a Verbert gold piece down in the mines. A bloody Verbert gold piece. And wouldn't you know it, I dropped the damn thing somewhere while I was working. Find it, and I'll tell you what you want to know. You drive a hard bargain, sir, but we'll take it. It seems we have our work cut out for us, Yami. Thankfully, I have an idea of how we might hurry things along. Okay. What's the plan? As I'm sure you noticed, despite their best efforts to illuminate the corridors, it's rather dark in here, meaning it will be that much harder to find a single coin hiding in the shadows. That's why I propose we use these sun drops. They help the eye take in more light. Why don't you start your search further in, and I'll handle this area here. I'll retrace your steps after, in case you happen to miss it. If you feel the drop's effects wearing off, I can give you more, so don't worry. Looks like we have another player in here doing the same quests. Alright, so this is going to last for 3 minutes. You search the shadows but find nothing. Perhaps the gold piece lies elsewhere. Alright, let's try not to engage in any fighting. You search the shadows but find nothing. Perhaps the gold piece lies elsewhere. Alright. It's probably going to be as far in as you can possibly get. If I had to guess. Either that or there's a set number of points we have to check, and it's always going to be the last one that you have to check. Regardless of what order you do them in. As you search the shadows, the glint catches your eye as you turn over a rock and find the Verbert gold piece. Excellent. Alright, we found it. I was hoping you dropped the gold piece somewhere closer to the entrance. More fool me for thinking Lady Luck was on our side. Well, I found it. Or maybe she is. Yours, at least. In the end, my contribution was little more than poor company. Well, I couldn't have done it without your sun drops. So you say, but you have a proven knack for success regardless of circumstances. I doubt very much I could have discovered it unassisted. I only managed to survive the Curthing wilderness and the imperial capital by virtue of extensive preparation, a habit of mine since childhood, and one of my few positive traits which endeared me to Louis Soir, I imagine. It hasn't been easy finding ways to compensate for my condition. Every tool and trinket has proven vital to my continued success, such as it is. Had I chosen to pursue the arcane arts rather than espionage, well, I'd rather not think on it. So long as I have the means to protect those dear to me and to see my duties through, that's all that matters. Now, let's hurry and see that return to Guthjon. The sooner we get back to Eorzea and Menphilia, the better. Alright, let's give him the gold piece. You're back. Wait, does that mean? Yeah, we got it. Camera. I'll be damned. You actually found it. Well, a deal's a deal, but I don't think this means you'll find what you're after. Alright, so what's the secret? To be honest, I wasn't sure you could pull it off. But you did, and I'm a man of my word. Come with me. Alright. Come with him where? Outside, apparently. Alright. So let's see what the plan is. Every time I step out of those mines, the sky seems to get brighter. I'd never leave them if the air weren't so stale. But you're not come to hear my grievances. You're after Leonine. First, I have to ask, you ever heard of rockworms? Rockworms? I know them by another name, though I'm fairly certain the locals call them knockers. Aye, that they do. Whatever you want to call them, those little bastards may be the answer to your troubles. They can fit through cracks and crevices down where we could never hope to reach. And on occasion, they come back with something valuable. They dig up leonine in the mines? It's a rare occurrence, but yes. That said, it usually amounts to no more than a few flakes. Well, our only other option sounds tantamount to suicide, so how can we draw out these rockworms? Over by that shack, you'll find a bag full of smoke bombs. Set off a few in the mines and you'll flush them out in no time. Once they're out in the open, knock them senseless and check their backs. I should warn you, this method of mining, if you can even call it that, is used as the last resort on account of what little they're like to bring back. Just a sec. Okay. You'll want to cover as much ground as you can if you hope to find anything of value. Assuming you do find something, bring it here and I'll have a look. We should split up if we're to cover more ground, as he suggests. If you can cover these 3 areas on your map, I'll see to the parts between them. Alright, so we're going to be using rockworms to mine with, apparently. So there's the pile of supplies. But I think this is going to be where we're going to stop for the day. Because we're at time and I'm starting to get tired. So we'll go ahead and stop here. And then we will see if we can find what we need when we come back for next episode. So, for now, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you next time.